This is breaking news.
Prince Harry's visa drug controversy. What Donald Trump's remarks means for his future. British royal family news reveals a judge will decide if Prince Harry's US visa application should be public after questioning how he was allowed into the country after admitting to drug use. Prince Harry is at a critical hearing in his ongoing visa dispute, which could have a lasting impact on his future. A US judge will make a decision. A judge in the United States will decide if a previous decision to keep the Duke of Sussex's US visa application private will remain or be made public for examination. This case follows a legal challenge from the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank in Washington, D.C. They argue that the US government should release details about the Duke's visa application to determine if he disclosed his drug use. In his memoir Spare, Harry acknowledges using cocaine, marijuana, and psychedelic mushrooms. He stated that cocaine didn't do anything for me, but noted that marijuana is different, that actually really did help me. Prince Harry and Meghan have lived in the US for 5 years. His visa applications require individuals to disclose their current and past drug use, which can negatively affect the application process. Heavy drug use may result in application denials, but immigration officers consider various factors when making decisions. Recently, Harry has spoken fondly about his life in California with his wife Meghan Markle and their kids, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. He even mentioned that he has thought about applying for American citizenship. In September, Judge Carl Nichols decided that the public does not have a strong interest in accessing the Duke's immigration records, but the Heritage Foundation is seeking to change that ruling. The judge agreed to reopen the case. The judge has decided to reopen the case and has instructed lawyers from all sides to come to court for a motion for relief from judgment hearing in Washington, D.C. This hearing will be the first time the case has been reviewed by U.S. courts since Donald Trump returned to the White House last month. The U.S. president, who can step in and request the release of documents, warned that Harry might face repercussions if he lied about drug use on his U.S. visa application. Harry, whose Invictus Games start in Vancouver on Saturday, has faced criticism from Trump ever since he and Meghan chose to move to the United States 5 years ago. In 2020, during the last U.S. election campaign between Mr. Trump and Joe Biden, the Sussexes made a video encouraging Americans to vote against hate speech. Trump was implied to be the subject of the hate speech remarks. The comments made were seen as directed at Trump, suggesting support for Mr. Biden, even though no names were mentioned. Some people argued this went against the Sandringham Summit Agreement made when the couple stepped back from royal duties in 2020. Later, Mr. Trump expressed that he was no fan of Meghan. Last year, he criticized the Biden administration for keeping Harry's immigration application private to protect Harry. He told the Express US, "I wouldn't protect him, he betrayed the Queen. That's unforgivable. He would be on his own if it was up to me." Trump was later challenged regarding his comments. Days later, Trump faced questions about his views on Harry during an interview with Nigel Farage on GB News. Mr. Farage inquired if the prince would receive any special privileges, to which the president-elect replied, "No. We need to find out if they have information about the drugs, and if he lied, they must take the right steps." Mr. Farage pressed further, asking, "Right steps? Does that mean not staying in America?" Mr. Trump answered, "I don't know. You tell me. You would think they would have figured this out a long time ago." There were hints there would be no action taken. Harry's visa problems during Trump's presidency may not lead to any new developments. This follows Eric Trump's comments before last year's election, where he mentioned that Harry's visa would likely be secure since no one cares about him and that Meghan is not very popular. The Heritage Foundation filed a lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, after their request for information was denied, arguing that the issue is of great public interest. The Heritage Foundation's lawsuit claimed that U.S. law usually makes such a person unable to enter the country. The organization also stated that the Duke's previous drug use should have been mentioned in his visa application, as it could bring up concerns about the U.S. government's honesty.